What's going on, everybody? Jared, my father Dennis here with Seam Readers. Today and earlier this week, we've been talking about different pitch types and different ways they move. So Dad, expand on that, please.
Yeah, we've been talking about how each pitch has a signature look. I think we can all agree with that. The question was, does each pitch move the same every time? And because you'll recognize the pitch as to what it is, but now can you hit it by the way it moves? No, not every pitch moves the same way every time. That is precisely what makes hitting so dang difficult, you guys. We're gonna go over a couple of things, hopefully to make it easier on you, but I think it's about repetition being the mother of skill in this one.
Yeah, so today, not a drill, but we're gonna show you something pretty cool. We're gonna throw some 4 seams, some 2 seams, all at different arm slots. You'll get to see in slow motion how they look differently and maybe even move differently. So let's do it.
Okay. Okay, everybody, I hope you got to see the differences in those pitches, even though the differences were tiny, okay? But again, 2 seam and 4 seam, the reason we use those only today is because the change-up version of those, probably the 2 best pitches in the game, okay? We know that every other pitch, slider, curveball, split finger, they're all gonna look different. They're gonna be slower for one, okay? So that's why we just used the 2 and the 4. With softball, we think it's easier to be a softball hitter only because there's just one release point. That would be the only reason, okay? Other than that, Jared, I think that's it for today. We have a question. Jared, go ahead.
Yes, so this question comes from Kayla Bradham from Legacy After the Locker Room podcast. Kayla's question is somewhere along the lines, you said last week, hit above middle on the baseball. She wants to know, how can you get lift if you're hitting above middle on the baseball?
Hey, that's a great question, Kayla. Hey, you do a great job on that podcast. Thank you for reaching out. Here's how that can be done, okay? If we just set a ball right here and we take our hand and we're at a little bit of a downward, slightly downward angle and we're right above the middle of the ball, what happens? It can certainly do this, you guys. Okay.
Backspin.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna create the backspin. Can we do it here? Yes. Can we do it here? That's too much of a pop-up. Can we do it above it? No, maybe that's too high. I always say that we got about an inch right here on either side of middle, that if we make contact consistently, ball's gonna fly, okay? That's a great question, Kayla. Thank you again. Continue the great work. Everybody else, listen. Next week, we're gonna do our first product review. We're going to take products of people that send them in, baseball products, softball products. We're going to review them for you, okay? We're getting a lot of interest. We're getting a lot of views every week. It might be beneficial to you, so get with us, and we'll be happy to do that for you, okay? Thanks again, everybody.